What's up, everyone? Jim, Camilo, your boys. They're coming at you live from the undisclosed secret location, the Smooth Clam Studios. I'm joined by the OGs tonight. It's good to get back on the airwaves. With the original 3D1C pod co-founders. How you guys going? How's your New Year's been, fellas?
Really good,
Nels,
man.
you go
Yeah,
first.
I'll start off. Sorry, Joel. Been good. Lots of sunshine and lots of beach time. It's been bloody nice to pack it up, including NSL for a couple of weeks and
Yeah.
get away.
Yeah, firing up the trade machine there now, though, I'm assuming.
Yeah, we got potential deal lined up. So I'm just having a look. I'm literally, if you see my eyes dart up, it's because I'm just checking what's going on in the screen
Oh, yeah,
behind.
right,
So
right. Just
yeah.
surveying the fleasing.
You have my undivided attention.
Easy. And what about yourself, J Mac? Yeah,
Um, yeah, hey mate, nice to see you both. Very similar to Nels. I've been down at the Mornington Peninsula for probably 10 days, and we're down here for probably 4 or 5 days more with the family, which has been really nice. So I was quite content to have a period of time with no NSL, but the last few days have gotten a bit itchy.
yeah,
Been trawling rosters, trawling trade blocks, and it's the same old filth. So
yeah.
no satisfaction there. But I'm happy it's back. How's your Christmas and New Year's been, mate?
Yeah, it was good. It was the whole family shindig, but it's you boys are right in the thick of it with your little ones. But ours are getting right at the age where they can start fending for themselves, and you don't have to be all over them. So I'm getting to have a cheeky beer or two. Not that I didn't before, okay, but obviously now just it's guilt free. Just the whole family thing, and we got down to the beach, same as yourselves. So we've got down there with the girls and got down with just myself and the missus. So a bit of quality time. We'll jump straight into it. I'm pretty keen to get the ball rolling on NSL for the 2023 year. Look, we've coined a bit of a zippy headline for this one. It's the Speculations Pod, the 3D1C speculation pod. We're just doing a whole lot of speculating, just throwing some shit against the wall, and making some spicy takes and outlandish calls. First one's look. I think the floodgate's going to be, they're bursting at the seams. They're going to be opening very shortly, but we'll touch on some trade speculations or rumors you boys might have come across. JJ, yourself, what's on the forefront either for yourself or anything you've heard on the streets?
Well, I've just been like, as Joel was saying before, kind of trawling, and you can just see the little green light on Discord, and you're like, okay, that person's active.
Yeah, you're like,
and they're really active. Yeah. And then you see like people doing like long stints. Like there's been a lot of Smokey. I've seen the green light next to him a lot. And then like a little bit of Toronto, and there's been just a few regulars. Like the Lakers have been really busy, so I think they're gonna do and line up some trades. I was expecting to see something by now, but I think they're just everyone's lining it up for week 9 when all these players are unblocked and things will start to happen. So, I think there's going to be a blockbuster trade. Obviously, Joel and I have been waiting to pull one off for, I don't know, almost a year now.
7 months.
I'm kind of sick of hearing about
7
it,
months.
really, to be honest. Yeah.
But off the back of that, I think there'll be at least.
What's
you
that?
Go, man.
What's that, Joe, mate?
You go. You go. I'll chime in.
Yeah, stop interrupting. Like, fuck this guy here. Like, Jesus Christ. You're not on the waves for a minute, and this guy's just coming in guns blazing. You'll get your time, Jamie. Fucking hell. Anyway, Nels, any trades for the Spurs at the moment?
Yeah. Well, we've obviously got that one lined up, and it sounds like there'll be multiple deals attached with that.
To multiple teams or what?
Yeah, multiple teams. Well, I've got a little side deal that we sort of locked in today.
Right.
So, unless something goes
pear-shaped. Well, man, you need to get as many bodies as you can. You're running bit of a ghost ship there this week. Bit be a stick away from what you're running. Be a stick away from what you run in the last playoffs, sort of thing. All right, so you got the Conley one there. If that wasn't already obvious, J-Mac. Now's your time to shine, my friend. Take it away.
Nothing. Yeah, apart from what Nell said about the 7 month in the waiting trade that's coming on. That's I'm not even going to say exciting. A relief. Not a relief that I'm really excited about the deal. It feels like it's aged like cryptocurrency for me. So I'm just happy to move on and actually have all the pieces on my roster that I can then make some moves for. So I was excited to get the greatest point guard of all time in the NSL, and then they decided to change the rules when they heard that. So he'll have to slot in at small forward, and we're really happy with the depth we've got. We tried to get Randall, but the price was just too high for us, for our taste anyway. That's really the only person that we've inquired about. The rest is all pretty much, everyone seems to be just waiting. Obviously, as you mentioned, there's been a few teams that with the green lights that seem to have struck some deals that hopefully wakes the NSL trade world up a little bit, because I can't really remember last year. Maybe it's just recency bias, but it feels very quiet. I feel like the transaction page typically has a few hits even to this point. So obviously that's the trade rules in effect. And also I think NSL having a lot more buyers than sellers, which is actually what's happening in the NBA as well. A lot of competitive teams who feel like they're good enough to play playoffs, there's no incentive to sell any win now assets, and it freezes the market up.
It's funny that you say that, because me and Big Red were talking about that off air before you jumped on. And look, I'm not gonna. I don't really like sort of banging on in a negative fashion about anything really, in general, but also more importantly with the NSL. So I don't really, because if I was, voicing my, I guess, maybe doubts about the rule changes and sort of whether they were necessary. It's not going to change nothing. So, but I have sort of seen a few positives that sort of in line with what you were sort of touching on. It's more about the buyers, so I guess that drives prices up, and maybe we don't see as many sort of deals that. Not so much that there were so many bad ones that I can sort of remember off the top of my head, but if you get someone that goes bang bang bang, series of deals, and they get value on each single one, I have no issues with it. I'm sort of just being devil's advocate here, but you can see how teams are sort of I guess separating themselves from the others that are more active and more have their bread and butter is the trade front, sort of thing. So I can sort of see admin's decision to want to sort of just try and balance it out a little bit, but I just sort of feel like they went a little bit too far, just with a few of the rules and whatnot. Look, you are right. I feel like I would be, I'm almost certain that this time last year there was 3 times the deals that were done. And look, it doesn't really replicate NBA real life, obviously, but this is fantasy. We can't just have it like to the letter exactly the same as the league. You pick your sort of poison with that. And I just sort of think fantasy is still needs to allow some room to just have fun. Like just sort of and live in a world where it doesn't exactly. Copy what's happening in real life, sort of thing. So I can see a few positives. But I think the main one is just that like I don't even know what the exact rule is, but it's like the whole thing where you can't deal another guy with other players or something like like you can't.
I know the rule.
Go ahead.
It's just 60 days. You can't bundle an acquired player with another player. And
for 60 days.
Them and for 60 days of it, like after 60 days, you can bundle them together with other pieces and move them.
So that's
in the past.
That's 8 weeks, though. So that's. In theory, I
In the
like
past,
that.
it was
I think 60 days is just a bit much, sort of thing. Because then it's like,
yeah.
I would like to see it like, the same player, theoretical player, maybe move a couple teams in the space of a season rather than have it just strictly been a mid-season or off-season deal, sort of thing. Because I think that
Good look.
yeah,
Look, good or bad, it just changes. It changes how you view trading. It changes how
yeah,
you view roster building. If
yeah,
anything, it makes us more tied to our teams. Like
yeah.
in the past, teams have rebuilt, retooled twice over within a season, whereas I think that's an impossibility now. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not saying it's good or bad. It's just different, and
I sort
maybe
of
the
think
market and everything's
like
just
in a way, I sort
responded
of
to it.
think more so it just affects teams that are probably on the way up, from the the lottery sort of bound type teams and rebuilding like in lattice position. He's put in a lot of work into that team and it's showing. But like if I don't know, man, you kind of don't want to just reward guys who are only sort of putting half yards in, sort of thing. But at the same time, like you sort of want those guys to be able to sort of facilitate deals and be able to have every option available to build get another team up in the ranks, sort of thing. I think it affects them more than anyone because the elite traders, the volume traders like us, we're always, I'll say volume, maybe not elite in my case, but us traders will always get deals off, regardless, sort of thing. We
Yeah,
just obviously have to recalibrate and sort of act accordingly. But so I don't really
I
feel like
agree.
it's look, maybe you guys are constantly just fucking melting dudes on the trade front and getting better. Look, let's be real. The admins,
Maybe.
rules are pretty much focused on you two fucking idiots, and then all of us have received a splashback from you two just abusing your power, and essentially just ruining the league. Really, let's be frank. So we'll just leave it at that. Real talk. We both know, and your silence can attest to that. But we'll move on. What are some other speculations, I guess, with just how teams are going in general? Just and then sort of, I guess, projecting forward on where you think they're, where they end up, end of season or
Well, we might use that segue. The news broke today that the Hawks are looking for a new GM, so all the best to Ben.
Really?
Yeah, Hawks
I
new
missed
GM.
that.
So good guy. I think he was pretty casual GM, and that's it within his right. But all the best to him in his
Yeah,
future. Maybe he'll be back. I think the Hawks. He kind of pushed all in a little bit this year,
yeah. Too
where
early? You think a little bit
I
too
think
early?
a year too early, and
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know what he traded for Lillard and Siakam, but they're both just I think they're just B graders.
Lillard is really, really poor in game, like sort of from what he's played.
Yeah,
Like when you compare him to the other sort of elite guards, like, and
yeah. Well,
it's not even like a case of like, oh, small guards lose out like they do in most years, but there's other guards that are killing it, and he's just not putting up that same kind of. Maybe he's not being used right. I don't know.
yeah, I think there's probably that. I think if he was on a different team, different settings, he would be better. But I think he was just so ridiculously overpowered due to our settings a couple of years ago when he won the title for the Spurs that any other seasons that he's had just pale in comparison to that because
Yeah.
he was like 50+% shooting, like couldn't stop him. So I think the Hawks just went in a little bit too early. I thought they could have, and I respect that. But then I think they've cost themselves some value, and they're stuck in no man's land.
Yeah.
At the moment,
It might have been one of the reasons why they have pulled the pin too. You get to that point where you're kind of like, I'll have a crack this year, see how it's going. I'll push the chips in a bit.
Yeah.
And obviously he's done that, and then it hasn't gone
with it in his mind. He's probably going to give it away soon, and then he's like, oh, maybe I'll if I can get some interest, be engaged, and into it again, then maybe. But
yeah,
I mean, you just
and injuries are deflating as well. So
that
like
sucks,
you have that happen, and then you have like a bad run, and you're kind of psyched to see how your team goes, and you don't get to see them. It's kind of like, what am I wasting my time doing at the moment? So I get it, but
I feel
He's done a good
that.
job. He's built a good roster.
Yeah, man. I feel that. And look, I'll be sort of honest. Like, if I wasn't such a sicker, I probably would have given up years ago. But I sort of Joel will attest to the first few Kings team. I sort of came out of the gates hot and had some postseason success. We haven't seen that in the last few years. It's been it's been a lot more work to stay active with the league, and it has my time has dropped off a little bit with the league sort of thing. But yeah, so I can sort of see where he might be coming from in terms of that, if that's what he was going for. But I mean, yeah, he just pushed in. I agree, a little bit too early, but you sort of think that he was probably smart enough to know that, and then you think you give him a bit more time. But yeah, I get the injuries and everything, so fair enough. Hopefully we get someone in soon. But that's two teams that need GMs now. So
there was a list, wasn't there?
Feels like there'll be a few more as well.
Yeah, I want them to be filled solely just so I can actually talk trades with the new owner, because I keep going to click on OKC and Hawks and shit, and I'm like, there's no one to fucking talk to. Like, I'm not talking to Benny, sort of thing. So hopefully they get filled soon. What about teams that actually have GMs? So do you guys got any tasty speculation about any teams, East or West? J-Mac?
I think the Knicks. I think Nels nailed it before. Green light, Smokey. I heard he went camping and didn't have reception, so he found tin and copper and took car aerials off nearby cars and built himself a little bit of a satellite, so he could get some Wi-Fi.
As you do.
We've all done it. We've all done it.
Yeah, we've all done that. But somehow I think he's
the old copper dish. We all know.
Yeah, the old copper dish.
Yeah, the old copper
exactly.
Dish.
I think the Knicks are about to take. I'm not even going to say step back. I think they're about to move a lot of pieces. I think Butler's on the way out. I've seen him saying he's got Kuzma, so whether the Raptors are involved with Butler or it's a different deal, I'm not sure about that. But then I think he's also in the talks for Randall. I know Randall's officially gone. Lattice somehow has 3 deals that he's closed as well. I don't know if he's involved in that.
Just quickly, like that theoretical, but I've heard the same thing, the Butler deal, and obviously pieces that may or may not be coming from Toronto. I mean, we talked a bit about it in the old chats, but what would a package theoretically look like for Butler? I mean, if he's getting Kuzma, it's got to be OG and Smart or something like that, because he's got no picks.
What do you think, Nels?
I think it's got to be. I have a feeling that, and I've got no idea. This is why we need Ethan on this chat, because he usually has a hunch. But I've got a feeling that it's either the two. It can't be the two that he acquired, the OG Smart, because they can't be packaged. So
he's pretty tight for bigs.
It could be one of his stars. Like, it could be either. It's
got to be Ingram. Surely it's Ingram.
Look who's arrived just in time. His ears were burning.
How far late am I?
Holy shit, man!
Dude, we were just talking, and you just chimed in at the perfect time. So
we were just saying all these nice things about you, man. It was so good, man. You don't need to watch it back or anything. To catch us out on that. Great. The 4 horsemen fucking riding in from the hills, guns blazing. I'm so pumped, man. All right. Wait, just quickly, we've got probably 8 minutes left on this chat, but I think it goes without saying that a second part has to come straight after. So we've got about 5 minutes. I'll wrap it up and then we'll go to the second one and see how we go. But
with what we were talking about just then, Clemo,
it's got to be Ingram.
Speculating. We were just speculating and we were saying we need Ethan on this pod because he might know. But what we're trying to do is speculate. So what are the parts if it is Toronto who are going to be the buyers of Butler? It can't be OG and Smart because they probably can't be packaged. Would it be one of the other stars, or do you think it would be one of those guys in a deal if Toronto is acquiring him?
Uh,
Do you
I
know?
can't answer.
Focus,
I can't answer
Cornhill.
like I don't know,
does
so I'm
know.
not allowed to answer.
Really? Oh, really? Man, now
Gladys
well,
and
you
Ethan
may as
know
well leave then. We'll fucking run the pod again.
Off you go.
Yeah, off you go. Jesus Christ. So
Well,
you're
don't
what? You're
talk to
bound by
Ethan.
secrecy or something, Cornhill?
Yeah, I am.
You fucking turncoat. You turncoat.
Tell us what you think, not what you know, what you think.
Yeah, we want your opinion, Ethan. You know, we're speculating. You know,
This is
I
the
think
speculation pod.
no one
think
ever got hurt with a bit of speculation, mate. Yeah,
I think it's multiple players for Jimmy. That's all.
oh,
I'll
that's
say.
fucking trash. Oh yeah, and it's multiple players and you know, fucking yeah, Butler's going to the Raptors. Yeah.
He'll lose his job at ESPN if he gives it away. Don't give him a hard time.
Yeah, true. Yeah, just don't forget the little people, mate. Yeah, just keep that in mind. So yeah, you
Maybe I
heard it
should
here
get off
first,
already.
guys. That trade, a lot of players involved. You heard it here first. So on to the next one.
Aren't
Luke,
the Kings in some talks? I've heard.
yeah, we're in some talks with. Look, we had some pretty extensive talks with the Lakers. Look, we've all talked about this. We all have our little black books in terms of just trade connections and sort of contacts and just people that you've just marked down as a bit of a no-fly zone. And Justin, look, I love talking hoops with you and everything, and we have put off deals in the past and whatnot. Nothing personal, but he's penciled in, like not with pen, but like he's penciled in like on that list in my little black book. And just because sometimes I like to just torture myself and just go back and revisit old stomping grounds. And hit up Justin. We had some long talks. He fucking blue balled me with Quickly, my boy Quickly. And look, he pretty much, we were pretty much right there, and then he just pulled the rug out from under me, and I took that personal, so so I was like, all right, cool, and I just fucking put him in like fine liner and like underlined him and shit, like, so he's in the little black book. Nothing against you, mate, but just pull your head in a little bit. So
Does that seem to be happening more and more often though, like across the league? Like deals getting backed out on.
Do you think it's because everyone's trying to deal with Justin, or it's multiple teams?
I think it's all around Justin and his weasel shenanigan tactics. No. I think it goes off that point that we made, J-Mate, just with the trade rules. Guys are sort of just more a bit tentative with pulling the trigger on deals, and they're waiting for. They know that one deal will come, and they know guys aren't going anywhere, so guys aren't able to sort of leverage as much, I think, as what they could last year. It's a bit quiet on the trade front. The only other bloke that we've had some decent talks with is Smokey, as always. So we're pretty close to hashing something out, which will probably involve me sending my 24 first away and getting back the Raptors 24. So a pick swap there just to keep in line with the Stephen rules, and trying to get back, some young prospects as a bit of a retool almost, fast track retool, because you all know how I hate drafting. But that's pretty much it, man. A bit of talks with Benny, Ben Smith, and you fellas, and that's pretty much it. What about you guys?
You don't need to draft. You just need to not trade the little guys you pick up, like Alvarado and Reed.
I knew you were gonna fucking bring this up. I should stop saying this kind of shit in the chats, because you guys just constantly just throw it back in my face. Like, I fucking hate you guys. But
find like two of them every year.
I don't know. I mean, look, it's a blessing and it's a curse. When you're just out there just slinging, just Maverick Renegade style, you're going to pick up some followers, some hidden gems, and man, I put a lot of time into obsessing over this league, so they fucking better be coming, sort of thing. But guys like Alvarado, there's a whole bunch of them. I didn't want to run through the list right now, but I think we're coming up on 1 minute left for this recording, so chill. I'll set up the second one and we'll get the ball rolling. So
part two.
Two
we
skis.
speculate rest of the season.
Big
takes. Big takes or nothing. Just big.
Part two's in your face. What were we just talking about? I think I was gassing on about something, but what we talk. Oh, fine. Unless you can remember, we'll just kick it on. Yeah. So what a
big speculation.
Yeah, some speculations. Cornhill, what are some teams, either out west or east, doesn't matter, you can pick, that you're speculating on, in the short or long term, or just teams that you sort of that got your eye? What do you reckon?
I think Milwaukee. Has that been touched on?
No, mate, fire away.
Touch it.
Milwaukee are going to be bolstering their defense a little bit come week 9.
Holy shit! Fucking Ethan Wojnarowski is fucking coming up with the goods, man.
Nah, that's not even speculation. I think everyone already knows.
Everyone knows. That's
you may as well put it to bed now, man, and just because it's news to me. So lay it on me, man.
Who's Milwaukee's starting center, Clem?
Fuck, are we really good? You can never just make it simple, can you? You always got to fucking have this big song and dance.
Well, if you can't even name them, there's probably something they're trying to address there.
See, this is why we have him on, man. This is it's too lowbrow when it's just us fucking 3 years.
So yeah. Everyone loves Ethan. They tell him all their secrets.
I know. That's good. And then he tells all us. So yeah, you rumbled now, Ethan. You fucking the starting center, they don't really have one. I guess they're running small. So of course I was just testing you there. Of course you knew that they needed some big men there. So why? Who's getting traded there?
I'm not actually sure on that part.
Brunson's going.
Just say you don't want to say, mate. It's not the fucking line of us. Jesus Christ.
Ethan recording.
No, I'm just sending out of context screenshots for Clem.
I see. It's always a good time. Fair.
Buck's defense is going to be really, really good. Really, really good.
Yeah, I really like their team, to be honest. But yeah, so all right, cool. What are some other speculations on either on the trade front or in general, J-Mac?
Speculation.
Any other deals that you know of that might be happening?
I did have something I was going to talk about. What was it? Speculation. Come back to me. Let me think of it again.
The Mel Ball is going to be week 7 Western Conference Player of the Week. There's some speculation for you.
I think it'll be Giannis.
Really? Well, because how many outs have you got, Ethan?
I think I've got like 6.
Yeah, right. But you still got Val?
Gobert, Holiday, like Otto Porter, a bunch of others. They're still like, yeah.
So you got Val, KCP, and Ball, and Barnes. Well, you're fucking sweet, man. Yeah. Right. The luxury of having a guy like Val just to fucking call up, sort of thing. He's such a beast. Wish I had him. Well, yeah. Look, nothing really. You guys, I've been the one that's been off with the fairies. You guys seem to be got your ear to the ground with the trade fronts. Obviously we've got the big deal that you guys keep talking about, J-Mac and JJ. So that's still staying put. J-Mac hasn't sort of cried you a river in the DMs and sort of got you to throw him an olive branch of mercy or what? Like,
I literally said to him in a private message between J-Mac and I today, I literally said, cry me a river. It's like you were reading it.
Yeah, it's a class act. That's a class act.
I got speculations, big speculation.
Someone just joined the server, boys.
Ooh,
really?
One of us.
I think the Bulls will have to have a new manager come week 11, and I think Anthony Davis will be traded in the next weeks after that. Done. Davis ends up somewhere else.
Wow.
So both Davis has been being traded and you think Maurincio's stepping away? Did I hear you right?
I think I don't know where Maurincio is. I hope he's well. I don't think he's manning the ship at the moment, at least At least not noticeably at all. Like maybe he's setting his rosters and stuff like that. But
he
if
does
you
tend to
go
do
to
that
the-
though. I guess he does go dark
Yeah,
every now and then.
yeah.
But yeah,
I just
you
think,
never know.
yeah, I don't know. I hope it's not true, but that was just a big take. But I think he might be on the way out, and I think if he is, the next GM will trade Davis.
Yeah, right.
That's
Big
my
big take.
I think.
Do we know anyone on the waiting list?
I don't think so. I was sort of given up on trying to pilch any of my mates who are into fantasy across to it because it's just too much. Like I'm surprised Ethan's stuck. And yeah, I've also got to sort of selfishly not keep bringing in guys that just like straight away like trounce me, like sort of thing, and surpass me, like and take everything that I taught them and then just like fucking, yeah, bury me with it. So I got to stop doing that. That's on me though. But yeah, otherwise I think there's just a few guys from there's always some guys floating back from the NLL and everything. So I don't know, man. We'll see. But
you don't want to bring PJ back, Clem?
No, fuck no, bro. Fucking PJ, man. That's another. That's truthfully the actual reason, Cornhill. I can't even stay mad at that face. But yeah, I just don't want another PJ because you guys are relentless, sort of thing. And you fucking you killed that team. That was yeah. I've been happy to not be bringing that up at any point in time since you left. So. Yeah, well, look, maybe we want to, unless you guys have any sort of speculations on how the season will go, maybe some, if there's been any key injuries, guys that might drop or guys that might climb. What do you reckon?
I've got another hot take. I've got one more hot take before you talk fast. Cleveland are going to have the best record in the East.
Ooh.
I mean, yeah.
They're pretty good.
Do you want to elaborate?
I don't know. I feel like they've won as many games as any team in the East. I feel like their players seem less volatile injury wise.
Yeah.
Whether that's a thing or not.
Yeah.
Everyone seems to get injured these days. He seems to be buying, making some pretty decent deals in terms of value.
Yeah.
This was go big or go home. Cleveland.
Yeah.
Top tier team.
I agree.
Even if it's
they are really engine friendly, I think. I think they're really engine friendly and sort of undersized guards haven't been as much of a blight as they have been in previous years, I think. Just because of the shooting and they're just not getting thrown around as much, I think. So CJ's really dominating. I mean, they're starting fives all in the top 80 or top 100 for the league. And they just got length, versatility across the board, and just CJ, dropping fucking however many points he's dropping a night, 20, it'd be high 20s or something, isn't it? 26, yeah.
Plenty.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, I want to know if we talked Charlotte yet. Have we talked anything about the Hornets? They're at 9 and 16. Hey.
Speculate. What's going to happen?
Yeah,
with
speculate
Charlotte?
away, mate. This is a speculation pod. All right? I'm not going to say it again. All right, come on, mate.
Sorry, yeah. No, well, look, I'll throw a speculation out there that they're going to make a couple of moves, which is, probably a mild take, but they're 9 and 16 at the moment, so they need to get some wins, and they're going all in with Luka, to ride or die, and they need to get winning. So I think there's going to be some trades there. Obviously, they just got Vooch. They needed another sort of paint presence, but I think they need some defensive size in the paint as well, and maybe like a two-way wing somewhere. So it'll be interesting to see how Craig addresses that. But we speak a bit, and he's talked about wanting to buy and keep improving his roster to try and get back in the mix.
Ethan, how do you feel the roster makeup? What's your opinion on the roster makeup around Luka and how he's the team that he's put together around him?
It's like Ethan's reading the newspaper.
I'm just scaring through the league on my phone at the moment. I think, like Nell said, like they're definitely missing like that McGee type this year. He's like such a good pick and roll pairing for Luka. But in saying that, like I can see why Craig wanted Vooch in a sense, like hoping he'd be the pick and roll partner.
And Buddy,
pick and pop
yeah,
a
the
bit at
what
the
Buddy
same
brought
time.
as well. I feel like I feel Buddy was also
Buddy is probably my favorite player that he has on the roster, like next to Luca at the moment. Someone who can just bomb threes.
I fucking love Buddy, man.
But yeah, like I think they just need more defense right now more than anything else.
Yeah, fair.
We put in a cheeky trade offer. This isn't even speculation. This has just come to light as I remembered. Offered them. Who was it? Josh Richardson, Nerlens Noel, Cam Reddish, and picks for Vucevic, and he said no. He was gonna see what Vuce could do, and I was like, yeah, cool, get it, no problem. I think you need some defense. I think you've got too much of the one thing. And I agree with him that his offense should be pretty elite, and that was what he was going for, and I agreed, and that's where we parted ways. But we did throw a cheeky offer in for Vuce after they had a rough week.
Well, it's
like there's a cheeky offer made for Luca, but that could just be like speculation.
Don't bother.
Don't do it to us, Ethan. See, he gets off on this shit, man.
It might be a GM in this chat. It might not. I don't know.
Oh, someone made an offer for Luca.
Look at fucking Nels's face, man. Yeah, it's either a dodgy cut Nels or it's Ethan just like drumming up some fucking. Oh, who could it be? Yeah, like
it'd be Nelson. It's something Nelson would do.
How would I do it? What would I do? Give up Giannis? What are you talking about? We might have talked about that once or twice. How would I do
it? So we talked about it a bit. So what? Yeah, fair.
So
look, he's gonna make a few more deals as per Craig always does. He's a kind of
Nelson, that was a mild take. That was a mild take. Which player does he need to go out and get to improve the Hornets?
It depends on what he's got, like asset wise, because like he's got Van Vliet and Doncic, and Van Vliet is like defensively he's rated all right, but he's really small, so that is like
he's just really minus. It was so long. Last year's success was based a lot on just their length, and like some of those teams he was rolling out last year. Because we all know with these sort of star players, if you can get the ball in their hands more often than not, they're better. Like your LeBrons, your KDs, everything within obviously the rules or limits. But if you're able to slide those guys up, to the 3 or 4 position, and it still works, and it doesn't, and you have the sort of talent to to sort of absorb that, your team does end up being more dynamic and just a higher ceiling rather than being a cheese fest. So he was able to do that with a lot of length and a lot of versatility, and ran all these lineups last year with Luca at the 3, at the 4, and they dominated. He's just so small across the board now, except for obviously Vooch, which he's my boy. It was a good get by him. Boucher is a bit of a tweener. And that's it, just drops off a cliff sort of thing. And then he's just got, Curry, Barton, and Beasley, who are all sort of, one-way guys, just sort of filling, hodgepodge of 2 to 3 minutes, and then who's at the 4 sort of thing.
Yeah, I think with those guys, so like Curry, Barton, whatever, they don't have any sway in a trade sense. But I actually think Van Vliet would be the guy that has some trade capital and has a $20 million contract. So if it was me at the helm there, I'd be shopping him, trying to bring back a guy who's got a bit of size on the wing. And I'd just be nerfing every minute of Luca at the point. I'd just be trying to play him.
If I was him, I'd be going after like Brogdon, and because Pete, I think, is just begging for someone to take him. Maybe
I don't think he's the right player. I wouldn't go for him.
Yeah, I know, but it's like if you get him cheap, or like getting like a Wiggins or one of those, or like a Draymond Green off Benny, because he needs to offload a fair few guys. Even if you get Horford cheap, it's just the salary that's a bit much, sort of thing.
They're hard to get, man. The big wings, they're the hardest commodity to get.
Good luck getting either of those guys off Ben.
Yeah, I know. I know. But look, he'll make some moves. So we got the Bulls falling, we got New York probably falling, just making some sideways moves. Detroit and Sheed are going to continue to fall. Same with Pete. And then obviously we're expecting Craig to make some moves. and then the rest of those 3 teams sort of.
What is that package that Sheets put up a few times? What's that going to net him? Do we think? Is it going to get him anything?
Yeah, you could get, what was it again? It was like Timmy Hardaway or something.
Hardaway Rose, and the net's 23.
I mean, it sort of it doesn't sound like a whole lot when you read out the first 2 guys, and then that pick is obviously what what the cherry on the top is. I don't even know if you should be moving that pick, man. I just don't think there's going to be any player really available that you're sort of going to want to move on from that pick and get back. Yeah, I mean, have you guys got any suggestions on dudes that you could be able to sort of maybe snag off some other guys? Maybe like a Randall.
I think he should have gotten Randall. I don't know if he had to put the Nets pick in, but it should have been some kind of package. But then it also shows how hard trading is, because Lakers would then say, we don't want Hardaway and Rose. They're just salary fillers.
Yeah.
And that's what I've run into a few times, where it's teams just being like, oh, no, it's just
whereas that deal would have gone through 100 times over last season.
Yeah. And you're like, that's not, well, there's not just filler guys. They're actually good players, but because you don't rate veterans, you don't rate them as an asset.
Yeah.
And that's where I think a lot of the impasse comes from, is which it always has been, the subjectivity of evaluating what trade pieces are worth. My question to Ethan was, I want you to speculate about Miami going forward this year. What happens?
Anything can happen. They got Markel Fultz, who can shoot fucking 10 out of 10 from 3-point range all of a sudden.
Don't get salty, mate. Give us the fucking brass tacks of it all.
I'm still burning from that. That fucking burnt me to the core that day, that game. I was gutted.
Don't even start on this fucking elitist tiers sort of thing. Go on.
I don't know about Miami. I think
Miami. Yeah.
Speculate. It's the whole pod. Speculate.
Yeah.
Throw something out there.
At the start of the season, like in testing, everyone was saying they looked like world beaters, apparently, when they were healthy. So I think like they're finally getting healthy. Like they still have quite a few on the IR from memory. But I think a lot of it with them weirdly kind of rides on Isaac as well, coming back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And what he comes back as. Because like before he got injured, he was looking like a really, really like great defensive player, and that was carrying over into the game. So yeah.
And he'll start there too. He'll start there at those ratings when he returns, because they haven't seen him in years. So he'll still have that cheese.
And he's supposed to only be a couple of weeks away or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Do they make the playoffs?
I mean, they got their they don't have their own pick, so they got no intention on the sort of tank front. But I don't know, like, because you look at their team and like going off sort of piggyback your point, Ethan, just with them being sort of projected to be in that 6th to 8th spot in some projections, but on paper, like if you're looking at Fultz, Brogdon, Simmons, fucking like Isaac and Bamba, whatever's starting 5, and then you got decent depth. They should, like, I think they should be up there. But like, I mean, copped injuries and whatnot. I don't know. Like Miami have just, even when they've had guys in, they just haven't really looked potent or anything at all. But they are on a bit of a win streak now, so maybe I think Pete's a bit more up and about. So
they're 7-3 over the last 10. I reckon they'll get into the play-in. Whether they make the top 6 or not, I don't know. Like that's they're 6 games back from 6 at the moment.
Yeah,
8 seed for me.
And there's some good wins as well, like Clippers who, I mean, it's not the Clippers of old, but they got a grind out win over them, beat those trash Wolves, and then obviously
I got beat by the Clippers as well.
What's that?
I got beat by the Clippers as well.
Yeah. Well, that's what I just said. Trash Wolves.
Trash Wolves.
Trash Wolves.
Instead of trash Wolves.
That's it. Hashtag. But yeah. So I guess I'll be in the play-in or whatnot. Just depends. I mean, if we're touting the Bulls in New York to be dropping, maybe even higher. But Look, we'll move out west just to sort of round it out because we'll be here all night. As much as I enjoy you fellas' company, but out west, I'm going to kick this off because we're talking to the trifecta out west. The big three big swinging dicks in the room, and
they're just Joel's.
Yeah, that's it. And I sort of. Yeah, 1A and 1B, obviously the Spurs and Portland. I'm not surprised that Portland are on top, but it's a game in it. It can change any time. Obviously, there's a step below that, and then you've got yourself, Ethan. You got a few teams nipping on the heels, sort of thing. Denver are actually sort of fulfilling a bit of hype, carrying on from last season. I think this engine's going to do well for Houston. They really sort of. I think figured out a few things to close out the season last year, and I think they hit the ground running this season, and it's translated well. Look, again, it's only a few games; it's way too early. But Memphis, I think, are struggling a bit more than what I thought. I just thought they had it in the bag, and wouldn't have been surprised if they were right up there with you two fellas, top of the standings. But they sort of had a few, issues.
Injuries as well.
Yeah, exactly. But they're just so stacked. You just sort of shows like how important this season it is to have you guys in and have that depth and not just be cheese on stars, which is a good thing. But the Clippers are the team I wanted to sort of get to most. What do you guys reckon about the Clippers so far? But obviously, what you're sort of speculating in terms of how the end of season team's going to look like. J-Mac.
I need a buzzer. I think they mirror the Utah Jazz in the NBA a little bit. Good young, talented players. The talent's not the question; it's the maturation and the experience. And I think it might be similar to Utah. And as the season goes on, they might slip maybe into the play-in spot. And then I'm not saying they can't make the playoffs, but I feel like they were maybe fourth or fifth in the West a week or two ago, and I think that's the high water mark for them. I think they might. Oh, he's gone the whole thing. I think Clippers are really, despite all my dumbfoundedness about trading Giannis, I do like the roster, and I do think they're a playing team, and he has to see if he can close out the playing games, but I think they'll slip a little bit in the West.
Can I piggyback on that? I have seen the green light next to his name in Discord a little bit over the last couple of weeks too. So I'm wondering, I would like to see them kind of combine some of that salary that they got and maybe some of the picks and get a third piece, because they look pretty exciting, and they're not easy beats at all. Like they push every team. They're good, so they're kind of going to be fun to follow.
Yeah, I think we've played them maybe once or even twice, but they got over us, and I think it was early on, right as they sort of started winning some games, and everyone was like, "Oh, here we go." But they got us pretty good. I'm pretty sure. But look. I mean, it's been said about their sort of decision to move on from Giannis. That seems like light years ago. I guess you can speak on this as well, J-Matt, because the Andrew of old, he never, credit to him, he never was the type to sort of just sit on his hands sort of thing. He was always pretty active and made the right moves when he needed to, and he was never. Even times where you sort of think he's maybe not there, he sort of gives you a little friendly reminder that he's just lurking in the Discord chats, sort of thing. So he's present. He's just a bit low key and everything. We know what he's like. But even those teams that he sort of took forever to build back in the day, he was still moving, making moves and everything. And if he does that with this team, and he's already. I feel kind of fucking stupid actually trashing him at all to begin with, because I was just sort of all caught up in the moving Giannis and why the fuck would you do that? And then you look at his team now, he's got Mather and like Banchero and everything. It's just like, I'm like, fuck, was I tripping and missed all those guys when I was fucking rage, fucking scrolling on his team page and just thinking like, what the fuck are you doing? And he's got all these fucking good guys, man, and they're going to be good, like a lot sooner than later. So
he's also got a couple of sneaky guys that would be good ads, like for any team that wanted to get a little bit of either. If you wanted to get a little bit better, you could go after Oubre.
Yeah.
Or if you wanted to get like an asset, there's PJ Washington's there, and they're both kicking ass in Charlotte this year too.
PJ's come assets on lately because he disappeared in the rotation a little bit there after sort of come back from injury, but they're stacked on that wing position. But yeah, you're right with Oubre. I've been trying to look at things to try and get him across, but it just sort of doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I think Andrew sees the writing on the wall with both those guys. One being that he doesn't really want to pay him nearly 40 mil or thereabouts to have both of them back on board again. But I think he just knows he's probably going to have a hard time sort of keeping him. He wants to sort of, put his put his efforts elsewhere. But Trey Murphy's exploded. He's a fucking gun. He's already an 80 overall. You've got Corey Kispert, who's got a lot of length and everything. Powell's just glitching at the moment, so. But he's also got some trade filler guys with Duncan Robertson, Fournier, and obviously Pat Connaughton and Powell.
And lots of picks. He's got lots and lots of picks.
Yeah, and when Daniel Tice comes back, like he's always like a solid, just all-round sort of versatile four off the bench for anyone as well. So that's another asset. So he's got those filler contracts, which in the past he hasn't had before because he's always just had rookie style contracts and 40 mil of fucking cap space. So it's like great, man, but how are you going to pull off a deal without giving up all this value? So he's got those. He's been smart enough to set him up with those kind of contracts that he can move at any time. So, and he's got a fuckload of picks as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 first round picks next year, guys. So yeah, and the heat pick would be the nice one if Pete decides to not go all out this season, but he's got a whole lot of picks next season. So yeah, the Clippers surprising for me. We'll move along a little bit quick. New Orleans, I know they've had some injury issues and made a few deals, so they're still figuring out their team, but I thought they'd be a lot higher. Speculate away. Ethan, Give us. I think
like you just said, it's just health for them at the moment. I don't think they've had a week where they've had Kristaps and like Wendell Carter, Paul George, John Morant, all that stuff. I don't think they've had a full week of that yet. I think once they get that
3 games. Yeah.
What was that?
Sorry, 3 games behind the 4th seed. Sorry to cut you off. They're only 3 games behind the 4th seed, so.
Yeah,
a good couple of weeks, and they're probably back where they project to be.
Yeah, they killed it with that Zinger deal. He's ranked 25th in the league. He's finally found an engine that sort of worked for him a bit better than sort of last year, but averaging sort of 15, 13, and sort of 2 blocks for them. But he'll dominate, and then obviously, PG. So they got 4 guys or 3 guys that are in the top 30, and then obviously Keldon, Wendell Carter Jr. So they should be a lot higher. I expect them to climb.
Them and I feel like the Pels and Memphis are in the same boat. Like once we see what they're like with their team on their whole team out there, be really interesting to see because they've got the most star-studded depth. Like they probably bat like 6 or 7, like 80+ guys. But is that better than having 2 really, really high-end guys? I'm not sure. Like I think
I'm hoping no.
I'm praying no. But it'll be interesting to see when they start to fine-tune all of those stars and it gets to the business end, what is actually better? Is it the 2-star build or is it like loaded depth? So
I can see it being both. Nels, great point. Very poignantly said. I can see it being both. And it's just about matchups, and it's about refining, as you said, refining what you've got.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it because, like you just said, matchups. It really will be matchup reliant. Whereas every year that I can remember, it's been like, oh, the better team is just going to sweep them. Sort of thing. Oh, maybe they win one. That's cute. Sort of thing. But there's just no sort of clear matchup. Sort of matchups being taken advantage of. So that's yeah, I'm sort of liking that and looking forward to it. Look, for me, I think the top 7 seeds in the West are pretty much locked. I think Clippers drop out a bit. New Orleans moves up into that spot. And then it's, teams like, obviously the Clippers, depending on what they do, OKC, depending on what the new owner does. And that's pretty much it. Going to be fighting for that sort of play-in spot and whatnot. And then I'm just going to be running into another buzzsaw that is J-Mac or JoJo. So,
hey, we might not get the numbers together again and have another walkover. So you want to be running into us.
I'll keep the thoughts and prayers coming on that one there. I'm hoping on another Spurs debacle. It's not out of the question, sort of thing, obviously. So that's going to be one of the scenarios I'm banking on. Either that, or just I'm hoping I get Cornhill just so he can let me down gently. Maybe I can sweet talk him or like fucking. Talk some shit, some rubbish, get him rattled. Like maybe he changes some shit and like I get one win, and then he just. As a gentleman he is, he just lets me have it, like without sort of saying like, "Oh fuck, I forgot to put on my playbook" or some shit like that, sort of thing. So I'll get that gentleman sweep, but it'll actually be with a bit of class rather than you two blokes just fucking
I heard that Cornhill was running some sims against you over the last couple of days, and you guys were torturing him. So,
the Kings were torching the Trash Wolves. Yeah. Well, you might. Yep. I think you've heard right there, JJ. I don't think that's gotten past Ethan and his tight lips as of late. Look. I've got fucking just folders full of out of context screenshots I can forward on to you at any time. My people will talk to your people, mate. We'll send it through. We'll make it happen.
Don't forward some of them.
Make a Discord channel. Make a channel on Discord and just do it like out of context.
Pete will fucking love that, eh? Pete will fucking love that. All right, we'll get on it. I'll get the back end team on it right away.
Clem gets all the inside info because I test against the Kings, and if I'm testing someone who I might want to trade for, Clem sees it all, so we can't be sharing that.
It just shows like, even though you'll never say it because you're such a fucking annoying idiot. You just low key don't fear the Kings whatsoever, so you're happy just to share all the fucking secrets with the Kings, sort of thing. And I appreciate you just sort of like keep me along the whole way, just so I feel like
you beat us today. You beat us today.
Oh yeah, I know. But then you're gonna tell me in the morning that you fucking were like simming it on some bullshit, like you just wanted to try the fucking. I don't know, Utah playbook or some shit, or something like that, but that was with all your outs, wasn't it? That was with like half your side out, wasn't it? Yeah. See what I fucking mean? See what I fucking mean? This fucking dude, man, like dead set. Like he knew I was gonna ask that as well, and he didn't want to answer that one. Anyway. But yeah, look, I'm quietly. I wouldn't dare show any of the screenshots of me like just sort of blowing my trumpet in our chats to anyone but us four. But I'm quietly confident the Kings will at least be a bit above average. Like we've set a bar low. I think the Kings are going to be coming home with a bit of gusto. Because I'm a bit sick and tired of being being the bunt of everyone's jokes, to be honest. But
Nelson.
Yes.
Who wins the East? Who wins the West? Just regular season.
Oh, like who sits on top? I think Toronto are going to do it pretty. My money's on Toronto.
Zion's out for a bit, isn't he?
Yeah, I still think they're good enough. I still think they're really, really good, and they're really, really good defensively. My money's on Toronto comfortably. And in the better conference, Toronto in the better conference, in the more talented conference over there in the East.
Yeah.
If it's not them,
Killers out
then
there.
if it's not them, then it's Washington for me. Washington never get talked about ever, and they're really good. But Bane has missed heaps of the season, and Josh, needs some love. He needs some encouragement because they never ever get the limelight, but they're probably there's 3 teams in the East. It's Toronto for me. It's Toronto, it's Wizards, and it's the Bucks. And
so just
Boston,
to clarify, just going off everything you've said, also in our chats as well. So yeah, Toronto, Washington, and just fuck the Cavs, like straight up, like you're just not. You're just not. You're just not. Yeah, well, you were saying that the other day, weren't you? Like you were saying, like yeah. No.
I'd say that.
Yeah.
It sounds like my words. No, the Cavs are good. The Cavs are good. I really like the Cavs.
Yeah,
but I think
put some respect on their name, man. Fucking hell, Big Red.
Yes,
fuck out.
Sorry.
Sorry,
Shams.
And then what do you reckon out west? We got 2.5 minutes, so bring it home, Big Red. You got this.
Portland will take it comfortably in the West, and then it'll be Portland by about 4 games, I reckon. And then if we get a good run, we'll be around the 2nd or 4th, I reckon. And I think Pels and Memphis are climbing. Yeah. So I think the West will be Portland. I think Memphis will get to 2nd. We'll fall to 3rd and Pels 4th. That's what
trash rules just right out completely.
They'll miss out. They'll miss the play.
I mean,
we're blowing it up.
Yeah. They'll be top 5. I think
that'll be 2 wins in a row. I mean, they're fucking basically free falling. You know what I mean? So
that's right.
Yeah.
If I could give Nelsbet odds, my favorite would be Portland at a 210. Then probably Memphis at 280.
And what do you got the Spurs on then?
We're at 290. And then Pals 3, and then I'll give Mini 3 as well. $3.
Question, Ethan. Who would you most like to play in a first-round playoff series? Which team would you most like to play in the West?
I think we're gonna wrap it up right there, boys. So just no, we got a minute, Ethan. So do your worst, and then we'll
last question. Out. Who would you most like to play?
The Kings.
Oh, that has to be a playoff team.
Oh.
And on that note, we're signing out on another very, very good pod. Thank you very much. Where's he gone?
Lots of fun, brothers. Someone call Clem. Someone, family members, friends, check in on him, please.
Yeah.